friends, today I am coming with an interesting topic, that is precipitation reaction between antigens and antibodies. Okay, so what is precipitation? Precipitation is formed as a result of interaction between antibody and soluble antigens. So see the animation very carefully, then you can understand it very well. The antibodies and the soluble antigens are interacting with each other in aqueous solution, and they formed a lattice. That lattice eventually develops into a visible precipitate. This process is called as precipitation. When we are comparing the precipitation process with agglutination process, the precipitation process is very slow. It may take 1 or 2 days. So now come to discuss about the antibodies and the antigens which are participating in the precipitation process. Okay, see the animation. The antibodies which are participating to the precipitation process should be bivalent. That means the antibody should contain two fragments to bind with two epitopes. So what about the antigens? The antigen must be either bivalent or polyvalent. Bivalent means the antigen should contain at least two copies of same epitope to bind with same type of antibodies. So what is the meaning of polyvalent? Polyvalent means an antigen should contain different type of epitopes to bind with different type of antibodies which are included in polyclonal antisera. So some precipitation reaction can be occurred in flood and some precipitation reaction can be occurred in gel. So today we are going to study about the precipitation reaction which can be occurred in flood. I will explain about the precipitation reaction in gel in my another video. Precipitation reaction in flood is a qualitative as well as quantitative method. A precipitant curve can be graphed based on the result of this method. Now we will see how to perform this method. First, we have to add a constant amount of antibodies into a series of tubes. Then, increasing amounts of antigen should be added to the tubes. After the precipitate form, the all tubes should be centrifuged. Then, discard the supernatant and take the pallet. So now you can measure the amount of precipitate. So based on this measurement, we can create precipitant curve. So when we prepare the precipitant curve, we take antigen concentration as the x-axis and amount of precipitate as the y-axis. So now you can see in the video a final view of a precipitant curve. See, there are three zones in a precipitant curve. Let's discuss about these zones one by one. Now look at the animation and compare the precipitant curve with the tube series which were used in this method. Okay, our first zone is antibody access zone. So look at our first 5 tubes. Already these 5 tubes had same amount of antibodies. Then we added increasing amount of antigens into these tubes. That means the antigen amount of first tube is lesser than the antigen amount of fifth tube. So antigen concentration is increasing from first tube to fifth tube. However, even maximum concentration of antigens is not enough to bind with all antibodies in the fifth tube. So we can understand these 5 tubes contain more antibodies than antigens. So there are excess antibodies in this tube. Our next zone is equivalent zone. In here the antigen concentration is equal to antibody concentration. So there are no any excess antigens or antibodies. Then third zone is antigen excess zone. Now look at 8th to 11th tubes. Already we added same amount of antibodies into these tubes and we added increasing amount of antigen into these tubes. Okay, now see the equivalent zone is over. That means the 2 tubes which are in equivalent zone contain suitable amount of antigens to form a equivalence between antibodies and the antigens. If we added more antigens than the suitable amount, there may be excess of antigens. Due to that reason, 8 to 11 tubes are indicating the antigen excess zone. So these are the all about precipitation reaction in flood. So I'm thinking this lecture was important to you. So comment your idea and share this video and subscribe our channel. Then you can see more video like this. So goodbye and thanks for watching.